The three OBGYN employment models, and the structural question each one raises before you sign. Before you evaluate a single number in an OBGYN offer, you need to identify which of three structural models you are entering. The model determines what every clause means, how much clinical autonomy you will carry, and whether renegotiation is structurally possible in year 3. Model 1. The hospital-employed practice. This is the most common structure for graduating OBGYN physicians today. The hospital or health system owns the practice, employs you directly, and sets the compensation structure based on their internal benchmarks. The 2025 National OBGYN compensation data shows that the median base salary allocation for a full-time OBGYN general physician is 77% of total compensation, meaning most of the income is fixed, not production-linked. The hospital employs OBGYN physicians because obstetrics and gynecology generate downstream hospital revenue, labor and delivery charges, surgical facility fees, anesthesia, neonatal intensive care, and diagnostic imaging. That downstream revenue does not appear in your contract. The margin the hospital retains from your clinical activity does not appear in your contract either. Model 2. The independent or physician-owned group. Private OBGYN practices operate outside a hospital system and are among the largest profit-generating physician practices in the country. The 2025 national data shows that the median OBGYN general physician generates $721,513 in annual collections, with the employing organization retaining $321,994 per physician after compensation, the highest practice margin of any specialty in the national dataset. Private group compensation is more production-linked. Physicians in independent groups have a direct relationship between their volume, their collections, and their income. The trade-off is exposure to overhead, call burden, and the financial risk of an independent business. Model 3. The academic position. Academic OBGYN combines clinical practice with residency teaching, research, and medical student education. The 2025 national data shows an academic OBGYN general physician earns $319,667 at the median, a gap of $79,852 below the community median of $399,519. That gap represents the structural cost of protected time for non-clinical activities. Academic contracts are typically fixed salary, with limited or no productivity linkage. Subspecialty academic gaps are wider. Academic reproductive endocrinology positions pay $386,365 at the median versus $658,351 in the community, a gap of $271,986, the largest academic-to-community penalty of any specialty in the national dataset. Now the structural question. When you receive an offer, ask, where does the practice margin go? In a hospital-employed model, the margin flows to the health system, and your leverage is your demand value in the local market. In a private group, the margin is shared among the physician owners, and your leverage is the revenue you generate relative to what you are paid. In an academic model, the margin is partially offset by teaching and research mission, and the comp ceiling is set by the funding structure. OBGYN is not a subsidized specialty. The national data confirms it generates a net profit for most employers. The model you enter determines whose profit that is. Run your contract through ClauseLine at ClauseLine.com.